From sports to culture, mental health to economics, politics, relationships, and life issues.
Sit down and catch up with Aaron 868 and Ricardo Mitchell as we have casual conversations on serious topics.
Welcome to the living room. Welcome to the living room. Welcome to the living room. Welcome to the living room.
It is now 6 p.m. here in Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know what time it is where you are, but I'm glad to know you're locked onto the Truth Nation station, WACK 90.1 FM, where we are
Culture crazy.
First and foremost, let's kick this off as we always do, all right? Must give thanks and praises to the Almighty for granting us the gift of life and seeing another day. No matter what time of day it is, you must always
Give thanks.
Secondly, we have to say thank you to those that when we force, and we're not just talking about the new host of High Talk at High Noon. We're also talking about Tony Prescott, where the P this week stands for
Preparation, Aaron.
preparation.
Preparation.
What are you preparating for?
Now I was properly prepared as best as possible by the team. I felt, well, I've given you your flowers already in terms of just being able to. I don't know if people realize this, what we were talking about last week.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, but you did an excellent job getting me ready to tackle a shift, much less for a solo shift, and then caption help with the soft landing in terms of working with my Friday and over the next couple of days. And of course, that I've just the little one or two the flow issues as I get more familiar with this.
Be very careful of that. Those two words that you just paired together.
The flow issues
Yeah.
in terms of my ability to function fluidly.
Thank you very much.
Right?
Some persons may think that's a provider issue.
No.
Oh my gosh.
But yes,
It was easy to
it was right there.
It's right there, you know?
Yeah, but I felt, yes, it was my first day. By the time you guys listen to this, I'll be inviting you all to tune in to my third day. But High Noon has proven to be,
I talk at High Noon.
no, High Noon is a program. High Talk is our segment in the program.
Oh, okay, my apologies.
Yeah, because by the time we actually start the talking, it's not noon anymore.
It's noon somewhere.
I like that, you know. Yeah, and you know what, you're right. We have listeners all over the world.
And essentially, even when it end the program, it's noon
It's
somewhere.
noon somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah, but we end the program on a high note.
correct.
Right, so it's High Talk, High Noon,
High Noon,
High Talk, High Note.
Ethereal Heights.
Well, that's the plan, you know. To be honest with you, it's really just to make sure that we raise the.
We operate on a higher frequency.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Well, I felt prepared, and the reception from the listeners. God bless all them. God, WACK has the best listeners in the world.
you know, understand why I used to say it.
Like, I mean, I got it, you know, Aaron. But to experience is something way richer than just understanding. Yeah. I feel it. I can start to call names, but I'll do that on more one time.
Yeah.
Appreciate all that.
Just to let you know that this is episode 199 of the video recorded episode. So next week's show is going to be 200
Okay.
video recorded episodes of The Living Room, where we have casual conversations on serious topics. All right. If you don't know the voices that you're hearing, I am Aaron 868. I remind you each and every time that culture is my code. And I sit here today alongside my bro with no fro, a lot of flow, always on the go and in the know.
Ricardo Mitchell, the social stage on the global stage. So, I mean, all I'm saying is that this is the day that the Lord has made. We rejoice and we are glad in it. But this is the opportunity He's given us. Right. The living room, thank you. WACK, thank you. Listeners, thank you. All right. Only don't get, like, I'm real excited in here. Like, real excited.
And you don't get excited about much.
I don't get excited about a lot of things. I am very practical, very grounded, very measured. But to be able to build this concept, you see, the cowboy thing is a big deal for me. My dad used to love westerns. I grew up reading all the Louis L'Amour and them kind of things. Django, I know about Django from a book. I didn't know about Django in the movies and shows.
You don't know about Django Unchained?
Nah, that come later, right? But I loved reading westerns. I have westerns like right there. The idea that the real heights behind it here is that yes, it always had a stranger who would have come in and help the townsfolk. But the real heroes of these programs and these stories are the townsfolk gathering to deal with the issues that they have to deal with. Yeah, they might get a start or a help, but the townsfolk always had to get involved now. So,
and that's the thing, on Monday's show, you would have spoken of like, what could we do? And that brought me to a conversation that I would have had with one of my cousins some years ago, where we asked the question, who has the most important role in society? And everybody, when we were having this conversation, started to call the police and the lawyers, the doctors, the politicians, and everybody. And then he was like, the citizen.
yeah.
So just how you could say the townsfolk was very important to the role of the Westerns.
Any of these stories, Magnificent Seven, etc.
We, the citizens, do have a very important role to play in how functional our society is. And I don't think we understand the role that we play, the power that we have. Because let's put it this way, we like to talk about cancel culture.
Yeah.
But if we don't purchase, essentially the price has to be adjusted for us to purchase. So, or if we don't go to, something has to change to appeal for us to attend.
Yeah. I see you being very deliberate about not using that B word. You're trying to not say boycott?
No, I didn't have no intentions of saying that.
Oh, okay.
But what I'm saying is we have to understand how important it is for us to understand how the importance of our role in society.
Yeah.
And not just in society, even the role in our homes. So Valentino said that life is a stage, we are the actors. Everybody has a part to play. So play a role, play a part. And sometimes playing your role demands that you pick up slack from somebody else's role.
Yeah.
So before we have spoken about the fact that the place is clean, clean the place.
Yeah.
But also remember that cleaning the place, though not your responsibility, is still your responsibility. Because if your yard nasty, that's your yard.
That's your yard.
If the drain in front of your house nasty, that's your drain. Oh, that strike a nerve?
Listen, you know, yes. Yes.
Just thought I'd bring that back up, seeing that I would have mentioned something to you some time ago. But the thing about it is, or even better, if you are in a place of work and you realize that something falling down, it may not be your responsibility to fix it, but your responsibility could be to say, hey, this needs to be fixed, or this is falling down.
Use your voice, at least.
Yeah.
At least. Right. And one of the, I'm grateful for the spaces that I'm in. And using your voice is important here. One of the things I noticed this weekend is that Trinidad and Tobago has moved or started moving from sitting and complain culture, seeing a wave of advocacy and activism stirring. Now, some of it is individual, some of it is community, some of it is private enterprise. But big up Ras, Kevin Lalshan, he hosted a vigil and gathering on San Fernando, Paris Promenade. Right? For baby Angelo.
Oh, it was Ras?
Yeah.
Now, for those of you who listening right now and don't know who Ras is the Rasta camera operator. And just so fittingly, in true Trini fashion, he has been dubbed the nickname Ras. Kevin Lalchan.
Yeah.
This is his actual name.
Several nicknames, but Ras.
Ras.
Yeah.
Right? And Ras has been one advocating for many a cause.
Yeah.
He was
Yes.
openly advocating for the divers,
Mm-hmm.
the Pariah 5, we would call them.
Yeah.
And now he has moved on. And for those who choose to advocate for whatever cause it is, kudos to you.
That's right.
We applaud you.
Yeah.
Because advocacy takes a level of strength which not everybody is cut out for.
And sacrifice.
Right? So for those who choose to advocate for whatever causes,
Mm-hmm.
we applaud you and we thank you for standing up for something. Because if you don't stand for something, you fall for everything. But, anything or everything.
Every and any.
Right.
Yeah.
If you don't stand for something, you fall for any or everything. So stand up for something.
And like to that young lady, those young ladies who were protesting the manner in which a very public homicide is being treated. Kudos to you, young ladies. Kudos to you. Also, I'm seeing on other notes as well, one of the callers on Monday mentioned that they saw some of the grass being cut in the community after not seeing it cut for a while. Now, I want to point out that there are communities who are no longer waiting for national services. I don't know is the best way to describe that. But for some of the more regulated infrastructural processes to function, all the high talk to say some of these people just getting up and cutting the grass and they're not waiting for any corporation to see about
Or
it.
national program.
Or program to see about it. Right? And even caption, we were talking and there was this thing that they were going on. Sometimes your neighbor might have to give you a pull out.
Big up my neighbor.
Big up Aaron's neighbor. Right? But community is starting to resurface. So
I don't think community ever left. No, I could openly say that I don't think community ever left. However, community was not put to the forefront. Because regardless of it, there are communities that continue to function as communities, but they were not highlighted.
big up Irie Village. Big up Irie Village.
That way.
Outskirts of Princeton.
Oh, okay.
Right? You know Irie Village Productions?
Thank you. Not say the Irish, but
No, as in the actual village from which production house comes.
oh, because I know there's Irie High School down in Saparia.
Mhm.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah, no.
Again, so many different things have the same name.
But what I've learned is that Irie is derivative of Kyrie, right? And that just really meant the land off the mainland. But, you know, for tourism purposes, Irie being translated into the land of the hummingbird was just more attractive.
Palatable.
Yeah. But I'm seeing communities doing things and trying to uplift each other.
Again, as I said, communities have been doing, but they just did not get that light. And I think in the heaviness that is plaguing our nation to an extent, we are in search of those feel-good stories, those feel-good moments where you could highlight certain things being done to uplift a community, uplift a village, uplift a town. Somebody who's publicly advocating for a cause which may be overlooked. We are looking for those stories to give us that sense of hope.
Yeah.
Because we have to admit that there are elements and actions and activities that are taking place within our country that are waning the little bit of hope that some of us may have. And we always look at it from the angle and say that motivation is supposed to be extrinsic. That we are supposed to find motivation in things that are not of ourselves. But we have to accept that motivation to an extent is our responsibility. We have to find motivation within ourselves to do better.
Your dictionary have any words left?
Yeah, plenty. Plenty.
You boil it and drink the ink.
Not really.
And the motivation must be extrinsic. Extrinsic, I say. But you know.
But also, we have to accept that we are now at a point where education has fully taught us that salaries are not motivation enough to do the job.
Fair enough.
But regardless of that being said, we still need to find a level of motivation from within to do the job.
Money answered all things.
Not really, brother. No, that is not saying that I will not appreciate a large lump sum of cash, like winning the lotto or something, or a cash pot, or
Right.
so whatever it is. But
You could solve way more problems with money than without it.
correct is right.
Right? So all I say, by the way, this lump sum that you're talking about, you're sharing, or
Remember, I also have other people to teach.
you had to run it by
The
right, yeah, by the management team.
management
Yeah.
is very important.
Very good, right? Management.
But really and truly, guys, we live in a society now where we are always looking for that level of gratification for everything that we do. And we have to understand sometimes that gratification comes from within.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I helped Cardo, mean that Cardo has to publicly thank me. Or Cardo has to even though manners maketh man, I'm not expecting some level of great gratitude. What I expect is that level of fulfillment from within, that I have assisted someone along their journey.
Yeah, I guess if you wait for gratitude,
Mhm.
then you're setting up yourself and you're setting up the people, right? You expect gratitude, you actually create an opportunity for resentment. Because if you don't get the gratitude you expect, then you feel like you've been robbed of something you've been entitled to. However, gratitude goes a long way. People are way more likely to help people when they felt good about helping people.
I can't remember what it was that I was coming, that this thought came up with, but I remember this came up, I think sometime over the weekend, where I was trying to explain or put into words that people remember how they feel about an experience more than the actual experience.
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that is
I thought I had a profound moment. I
you
realized
did
that,
have a profound moment realizing that.
right? And when you look at it, let me try to get a moment that as a nation we would remember. 2005, November the 12th. Trinidad playing Bahrain in the National Stadium.
All right. Yeah.
Chris Birchall scored a bullet.
Mhm.
I'm 100% sure you remember that.
I remember people going a little loco on the highways and things, like people jumping out of the cars and
No, you're talking about when we qualified.
oh,
I'm talking about the game in Trinidad when we drew 1-1 and Chris Birchall scored a bullet.
I used to drink a lot. Let me can't sugarcoat it. I have consumed more than my fair share of the oak of whites. And so I hear you saying it, and I know that I was probably liming for it,
Mm-hmm.
probably, which means there are memories somewhere.
Right.
What I do remember is the javelin victory. We won a boat ride, and we got the holiday the next day.
Yeah, but we could have got a holiday.
And when we get a holiday, we went straight back to
Another boat ride.
no, we had an after party after the boat ride that ran until yes. But I do recall
Ran until
it went long. It went long. We used to lime. We used to do it hard. We've been known to celebrate things for more than 24 hours. Wasn't the wisest use of time. However, it built a fascinating camaraderie and set up plenty businesses and so. Anyway, what I do remember is the euphoria of
this man just don't want to say he like until 8 o'clock the next morning.
I get pulling offices and thing already for reaching to work late with certain patterns. All right, let me put it this way: I acknowledge it. As much as I've matured from certain behaviors, I recognize that lineman culture is part of our culture. Don't let nobody feel like on a high horse when I talk certain things. I just know because I've been there, right? Like lime, no joke, lime. And one of the things that I do remember is that you might not remember the line, but you remember how you felt. I remember when just seeing, I was on work and seeing news reports of people stopping on the highway to celebrate
That we qualified for the World Cup.
that we qualified for the World Cup. I also remember the collective trauma. I didn't even understand what was going on because all that I wasn't into sports. I was reading a book called Drawing or something like that. But 1989.
Yeah, I remember being outfitted in my red kit. Yeah, well, my grandmother made a red kit for me. And I saw everybody crying, and I started crying too.
You didn't
I didn't know what I was crying for. But again, we remember the emotion tied to those moments
Yeah.
more than sometimes the moment itself. And we have to remember that sometimes in life it's about building or solidifying those emotional connections to things more than sometimes the actual thing.
Yeah.
Because for me personally, one thing I've realized as I have gotten older is that I remember more how valuable the friendship is more than sometimes who that person is.
That is your moment of profundity. That takes a lot. Anyway, let me go ahead. Actively listening.
Because I have friends who I could not talk to for years.
Mm-hmm.
But once we meet up or start to talk about things again, the emotional connection, that emotional bond is right there. That the level of connection with that person, it just reminds me, hey, this is why this person is important to me.
Mm-hmm.
The physical nature or the physical presence is good. I'm not going to lie, because Ricardo and I, we share space together every single week. Sometimes for hours, sometimes for 2, 3, depending on what we may have to do.
Right.
But what reminds me of how important Ricardo is because the conversations that we have,
Always humble.
the moments that we share.
Mm-hmm.
You're real trimmer for that.
Sorry.
But would I trade that bond from Ricardo for somebody else who might give me 18 hours a week? No. Because for me, what matters is that emotional bond that has developed over the years, how it makes me as an individual feel.
One of the things I've never been shy about was my objective for coming into this space. You see, normalizing healthy male affection from day one, that was important. That was important because too much men out here toting too many things by themselves, and too many men toting too many similar things and each doing it in secret.
In silos.
Right? And I will acknowledge that I might express as a communicator, but I am not a communicator. I'm a philosopher. I love to think about thinking. I love concepts. However, the best ideas in the world don't mean anything if they don't become something. Aaron would have called me on the way home from work, and we would have talked for a little 20 minutes or half hour or whatever with such a startling frequency. I was like, but I talking to this man more than my girl. What I didn't realize he was teaching me was the art of communicating for communication's sake. And what that also did is it helped me in all of the other spaces that I function, because now it's not just a transfer of information or concept, but there is a depth and almost a 3D-ism to something. So that is not just, all right, I've thought of this, let me tell you and move on. It was, I have something and let's share it. So even in some of these spaces where now I might be mentoring, I might be in front of 300 or 400 students in some career day, and I'm not just telling them things, I've learned how to share things. So now I could lean into communication. There are things, the intangibles that you learn from the spaces you're in and the relationships that you have, that you're right, to quantify them, it don't really make sense. Frequency don't really mean it. You could see somebody every day and the value that they bring. They put this way that people remember the one time they see a certain artist perform.
Romain Virgo,
Serious, that's your,
Taurus Riley.
that is your never forget them performances.
You really want me to get down? Remember the amount of performances I have seen. So, okay, let's put it this way again.
I feel it.
Because I am from Trinidad and Tobago, soca performances, calypso performances are the norm for me.
Right.
But admittedly, as much as I love my soca, I love my calypso, I love my pan, I love those things, there are some artists that just speak volumes to me.
Mm-hmm.
I always joked if I had the budget, Taurus Riley would have performed at my wedding.
Okay.
Right? But Taurus Riley for me was one of those artists that I just fell in love with his music.
Mm-hmm.
Romain Virgo, when he would have sang over Soul Provider, that is tune. And for me, again, what made that moment was the fact that he was getting ready to leave the stage without singing Soul Provider.
Right.
You come for a performance, Soul Provider is your big tune, and you don't sing Soul Provider?
Come on, Romain, give him performance.
That is like Marshall Montano doing a concert and not singing Fast Wine, the greatest love song ever written in soca.
I like how you say in soca. Because we all know that the greatest love song ever written is Dingoli.
That's still also class as.
Is it? Is it?
So soca, same umbrella.
Is it?
That's spelled soca without calypso.
Yeah, you can't spell lots of things without lots of things, Aaron. Me, I'm mad at you. I will never forget Steel Pulse. It's just so the experience sometimes is more than just the information. It's more than just the memory, right? There is your bodies get programmed in a moment. Your bodies get programmed, and the beauty in memories is that you get to reactivate that instance.
That feeling.
And there's a downside to that too. That's why trauma is what it is. That's why anxiety does actually project you from the current moment into a future moment based on past moments. So technically, it's time traveling.
Yeah, memories, positive memories, they are negative memories. Memories on the whole, they are there for you to work with. But it's also how you manage those memories.
You have to manage them, otherwise they will manage you.
Right? And the thing about it is, and there's another thought process I went through this weekend, a lot of us like to look at life through moments and talk about therapeutic moments being important.
Cathartic moments.
But therapeutic moments are not as important as going to therapy.
Say that again for the people in the back.
Therapeutic moments are not as important as going to therapy. You could have a lifetime of therapeutic moments, but it would never replace a day of therapy or a therapy session, because therapy is about giving you the tools to deal with the things. But therapeutic moments allow you moments of joy, moments of relief. I remember therapeutic moments for you is not therapeutic moments for me.
Right.
Going to the beach might be therapeutic to you. Or going to church might be therapeutic to you. But going to church might be traumatic for me. Going to the beach might be traumatic for me.
Going to the beach might be traumatic for me. I want to tell you this story about the second-hand jet ski that breakdown off the coast of Tarico Bay.
Oh, I thought you was going to tell me what the time you and the dolphins swim together.
Well, that's what caused it.
Oh, same story, just
It's the same
different
story.
different moments.
Listen, dolphins are big people. like dolphins are bigger than you think. Right? Like huge.
So that's the time you ride the dolphin back to
I didn't ride no dolphin back nowhere, right? I don't know the dolphin back rider, Aaron.
Yeah, what that? I think it's that AI generated of Carter riding a dolphin back to Maracas, beating that bacon shark.
Big up the dolphins though.
Ooh,
As the dolphins are actually circling us to protect us from a shark. As Well, I
Yeah,
say
that
is I
was ridiculously funny.
I real good. A boat at the toe, we back in, you know. Anyway, all I'm saying is, yes, going to the beach. I good. I promised the sea I was not going back into the water. It was really about a good 5 years before I went back in the sea.
I still have not gone back to bathe in a river since 2008.
Yeah, I'm not really big on rivers, you know.
I almost drowned in Syllabia River.
Serious.
Yeah.
Well, that is. I mean, this is what you call sucking the air out in the room. Serious.
Yeah.
All right.
I was going to university at the point in time, and my friends and I, we decided to take a day trip. I think we had no classes or something that day.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided to take a day trip up to Syllabia River. And we arrived at the river. Obviously, we were consuming a few beverages,
Right.
and we all went into the river to bathe. And usually I'm a shore bather.
Mm-hmm.
I don't cross my waist.
Right.
But I think somewhere in the river it was up to about mid-thigh,
Mm-hmm.
and I took a step to the left or the right, I think it was,
Bujunk.
and boujou.
Mm-hmm.
And all I remember was going under, somebody laughing, hey, lucky fall. And then one of the girls was like, oh no, wait, this serious. And she came and she pulled me out and she's like, you alright? I say, yeah.
So this a real girl who saved you, or like a mermaid?
There's a real girl.
All right, big up you, real girl.
She's a pilot now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that is cool. I don't know if you remember this story.
I don't think she does.
Y'all still in contact?
No, we are not.
You should probably just shoot her a message and be like,
No.
file.
No.
Okay, you know what? Let's leave well enough for those. I remember the girl who saved me from coming last in the marathon, the first time I do a press marathon. Yeah,
What's her name? Hannah, by chance?
I can't remember her name. I trying to remember this girl name for years here. That was when press still had girls.
That was very long ago, right?
That was a long time ago. I was in Form 1.
Yeah, but really and truly, guys,
Imagine that. I can't remember the girl name, right? But I remember how I felt
about her,
about her helping me.
that she came last and you came second to last.
It was.
She stroked your ego there.
She helped me. She helped me. I collapsed, right? On the field when you finished the marathon,
Uh-huh.
you had to make like one last block,
Right.
and I collapsed.
That should let you come up on the
She
field.
helped me get up, and you know, like,
You know what? Kudos to you for finishing, I think, what would have been an 8-kilometer marathon.
it felt it was. I feel it was longer.
I'm not going to say that.
It was longer.
No, it was 8
Yes.
kilometers.
Press marathon was no 5K. I know.
No, it was 8 kilometers.
Was it?
Yeah, it was 8.
You sure?
Positive.
How you so sure? Remember, I was running that 4 or 5 years before you, eh?
4. Can't remember the route? Yeah.
Union Hall.
No.
But telling you, Aaron, this wasn't. I think I drop it to like a 8K. I don't know. I can't remember. All I
Child
remember
cruelty.
is that I collapsed. She helped me get up and finish. In my ignorance, chugged 2 of them electrolyte juice things afterwards. Listen, folks. Listen, sip. Right? Whenever you
Not what happened.
sip. Me and Ralph. One time.
Nah, bro.
Yeah, you had a, even if your body like craving certain things, you know, you had to ease your way back into it. But what I'm saying is, these are some of the details that we can't remember, but the feeling
How
of
we
it.
felt about it. Yeah.
And that is something that I'm still learning, that I might be right about something. I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. I might be right about something, but what people going to remember is already recorded, Aaron. You don't want to be that guy. What people going to remember might not necessarily be what I said and how it helped or didn't help them. What they will remember is how I made them feel in the moment. So I could be coming from a very, very healthy, you are terrible. Coming from a very healthy place and doing something that's not necessarily so healthy for somebody else.
Pull up on newspapers, then I frame the date.
Let me, you know, I
could edit it in.
man, you use your girl this man.
Now I know to use AI a little bit.
Oh, no, you know, so now you're okay with it. Big up thumbnail boss. Big up the thumbnail king.
Kenny.
Yeah,
Nah, but really and truly, it is a very important thing help us to manage our emotions or manage how things make us feel. Because we're just talking about the positive things, but there are also negative and traumatic experiences which we need to learn to manage. And there are things that, regardless of how well we think we manage on our own, we need to get that level of external help. Which is why I just made that reference that therapeutic experiences are good, but therapy is important.
Therapy is important.
And we have openly advocated on the living room for persons to go to therapy. If you could afford it, find somebody. If you can't afford it, check out findcarett.com.
Findcarett.com.
Right?
You don't know where to post one of those?
There's a catalog and a diary of companies that offer free counseling services. Sometimes it's one session, might be at 2 sessions. Check them out. Also, the Ministry of Social Development also offers free counseling, so you can check out their website for that.
Yeah, that is great stuff, bro. The thing with therapy is like, therapy gives you tools. Therapy gives you tools. Like, imagine you go to a restaurant, you have a great meal, fantastic food, but then imagine being able to cook that whenever you like.
No, you had to bring it a little bit closer. Imagine going to the fanciest of restaurants. The food is served to you, but you can't eat it because you have no utensils.
You know what? I'll agree. I'm not even mad at you. But we also from a culture where eating with your hands is norms, eh?
Well, I don't think you'd want to eat pasta with your hand or something like that.
You feel that? Anyway.
But I think you understand where I was getting at.
Right. You're rubbing yourself.
The great thing is right in front of you,
And
but you don't have your utensils.
yeah, you can't. You know what is like sucking a dinner mint while it's still in the paper?
Or you buy a dream car, but it don't have no tires.
Or no gas. But I get you.
Or you buy a hybrid electric vehicle and it don't have a charger.
You know what? That's a whole vibe. You know what? Let's use that. Imagine you have the latest model phone, your dream phone, and you have no charger. And the best you could do is begging people for a charge every now and
Every
again.
time you talk to a brethren,
The idea to beg for a charge. Versus going to therapy gives you your own charger.
gives you the ability to use your own charger.
Right? Imagine you have this, and all of us went through this, right? You're getting a toy that you wanted for Christmas. The battery is not included. You get the toy that you wanted and battery is not included. Right?
That bring back a whole memory for me then.
I'm just saying, go to therapy, charge your batteries. Right? I appreciate you bringing it up, Aaron, but it is so important for us to get the right kind of help.
Sure. And sometimes the friends that you confide in, they don't give you the right kind of help. They give you the help sometimes that would keep you there. Because bonds by trauma is a serious thing.
Yeah.
So they would give you the help to keep you within that traumatic spot, that traumatic experience. Because you know what? If I give you the tools to cope with it, the tools to manage it, you know what could happen? You could leave me here in this traumatic experience by myself. And you know what I don't want? To be by myself.
Yeah.
So I could keep you here with me.
Yeah. So it is important to get the right kind of help. I mean, even the people who want to help you sometimes have their own barriers to actually help you. Yeah, big up my neighbor. Life in the house.
Oh,
Every time I hear this sweet man running around,
makes sense now.
yeah, it raises my spirits too now. It's, as I say, life in the house. And that's the thing. Life too short and have the potential to be way too sweet for us to be digging our horrors for some of the things we get upset about. Alright? A little patience has go a really long way.
And the thing about it is, one of the things that I've learned over the past few years is there is great pleasure in knowing what to expend your energy behind.
That's a fact. What
Right.
you know?
What's that?
No, they're just all wise and thing.
I learned a thing or two. I learned. And the thing about it is, not everything demands a response.
That's right.
Right? Now, I am not saying that let everything pass or let everything slide.
Mhm.
But there are things that don't demand a response. Everybody has their own tool of coping with it. Like for me, my tool is this going to bother me in 5 years?
Reasonable.
Right? Is this going to be an issue in 5 years? If yes, then there are still parameters to it.
Mhm.
How serious of an issue can it be? And depending on the severity of it, that may demand how serious are the response it is. So take, for example, watching Man United play used to cause me frustration.
Yeah.
Now, watching Man United play, I'm neither here nor there.
Oh no.
Because I understand that sport is sport.
Mhm.
And it is there to bring me temporary relief.
Right.
So allowing the thing that brings me temporary relief to add additional stress takes away from the temporary relief.
You message caption.
Sorry.
You message caption about the 17th place.
Of course I did.
You have no respect for your elders.
Caption message me first. I could show you. Caption message me first.
Hey, let me see how that make people business, yeah?
But the thing about it is, that's the second part of it.
Mhm.
The things sometimes that bring you temporary relief, they don't just bring you temporary relief from watching them. They could bring you temporary relief from the banter or the communication that comes along with it.
They could bring you relief from the banter.
No, they bring you relief
Oh,
by
by the banter. Got you.
that comes along with it. Because if you look at it, when men come together, most times our discussions start off surrounding sports or something, a communal topic.
Mhm.
And then depending on the nature of the friendship or the nature of how deep the discussions go, then the real issue could be discussed. Most times the icebreaker is that communal thing, which could be sport.
Yeah, I know there again, you know. Like all talks aside, I floating in spaces where the issue is the communal thing.
Right?
You know, like here, they're saying it now is like, oh, there's an intentionality about my time and my relationships.
Right, but remember, Cardo, as we have established, not everybody might be at that place.
I know. I'm going through a epiphany here.
So you could end up in a space where the communal discussion has to happen before the issue is addressed.
So I have to make myself available in the communal discussion.
Yeah, because sometimes the involvement in the communal discussion also indicates to people that you are willing and receptive for whatever may come after. Because remember, not everybody is at that place where we could just come and sit down and start discussing a hard topic.
Right. Meet them where they are.
You have to meet them where they are. So, and let's draw that back into the element of, as we started, where the citizen is the most important. And a citizen doesn't have to mean a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, but it could be a citizen of the home.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you need that icebreaker there before a difficult conversation is had.
Right. Because not everybody is like me.
Because then now to tie it into what else we were saying within the conversation today, the traumatic experiences or the positive experiences may allow persons to either open or close depending on how well the first part of the conversation goes.
So what you're saying is connect through community, create a safe space, and then you can engage in difficult things.
Correct.
That is a lot simpler than just, confronting issues and then having to lure people back into the confrontation to help them.
Remember, some persons always say how there are people that are afraid of confrontation. But sometimes it's not that they're afraid of confrontation. They just don't want the confrontation or the difficult thing to be the first thing that comes up.
Because a lot of people are afraid of being judged too for who they are or what happened to them or what they did. So safe spaces are important.
And to cultivate safe spaces, you sometimes need to alter the approach.
I agree. I am also I'm also going to acknowledge that we have a responsibility to mature beyond just superficially functioning in safe spaces. Because you know what you'll also get from that? We only meeting in this safe space on this shared topic of interest, and we never doing anything else. So you know what you'll get? The same talk in the same line, it's just a different date.
Yeah, but also you have to accept that sometimes, I understand that sometimes you have to evolve beyond the superficial conversations, but also sometimes the superficial conversations are what is needed.
Aaron, if you having the same superficial conversation for 3, 5, 8 years is not what is needed. You're in a state of arrested development.
Just now, wait. I think you took it a little too far there.
I'm talking about if we're using the reference, we gather as men and start the conversation with sports. But we only gather as men, talk about sports, and then we don't do anything else. We don't have any real conversations. All we're doing is meeting up and killing time and blowing off a little steam without actually doing the work. Then all you'll get is a release. Your escapism might not be a narcotic, but you're not actually addressing.
Right, but there again, you have to remember.
You have to remember that thing, Aaron.
You do.
Yeah, you kind of do. You have to remember stuff, people.
Right? The thing about it is, as much as I understand that part of it, because you don't want to become so accustomed that you keep repeating the same thing over and over. What it is that there are people who you had to break the ice in the conversation with them.
This is the Titanic, because I get what you're saying. I'm also saying that what happens is when you don't, if all you're doing is staying in ice-breaking spaces,
right?
If that is all you're doing.
Right, but I'm not saying stay in the ice-breaking space, you know. I'm saying allow for the ice-breaking space.
I get that, but here the catch. If you going into ice-breaking spaces, right, you're engaging people, but all you're doing is ice-breaking Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Because anytime you try to add an element, stretch, test, improve, move on, you know what you'll end up fed up of the same thing over and over. And you'll move on. And then you'll have to, people call you going against. You go say, you switch up on them, etc., etc. And then they will end up just recruiting new faces in the same spaces with no growth, no progress.
But then you also have to understand that sometimes that space you may outgrow it. Because take for example, I have friends that I know all we could do is that ice-breaking space. Then I also know I have friends that we could do the ice-breaking space and then move on to deeper and more serious conversations. Then I also know I have some people that I know we could just go straight into the deeper and more. It's about understanding the space that you're in at that moment, or understanding the people that you're around.
Right. The thing is that people in different spaces. The truth is, a lot of the spaces people comfortable in, not good for them. That is just the truth.
I understand that, yes.
That is just the truth. So I get the curation of a safe space. The question is, what is that safe space for? What is it for? And that will shift. All right, well, okay, we've been here doing this for a while. What? It's using resources, it's using time, it's using energy, it's using money. Right? What is it for? You know, are we just like, we have a hole in the bucket and we trying to fix this bucket with gazette paper. It'll absorb as much as it could absorb
Until it can absorb no more.
until it can absorb no more, and then they change the paper. But it still have a hole in the bucket.
Now, the thing for me is, as I have said on numerous occasions within the living room, is that you have to know what you are there for and act accordingly. If you go into a room and all that room demands of you is that superficial conversation, by all means. But there are rooms that you have to enter where the meaningful conversations are the thing for you. You can now take persons who have that superficial conversation and sometimes carry them across to the meaningful conversations. But the thing is, you have to understand that, as I said, everybody, life is a stage, we are the actors, everybody have a part to play.
That's
And not everybody is going to play the part of the meaningful conversation all the time. So sometimes allow for the superficial, but understand that even in the superficial, there are moments where there are teachable moments. And that is something I have learned that I try to navigate with my friend circle, where we could have the superficial convo, but at some point within that, we have to have a learning moment, a teachable moment.
Usually say man to say that the day you stop learning is the day that
You begin to
you
die.
begin to die.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you realize that I'm telling you that a lot of people comfortable not learning.
Now, yeah, I know that. But the sad thing about it is we also have to accept that there are also things in life that you have to be comfortable not knowing too.
Can you name for me anything that is alive and is not growing? Because it seems, as far as I know, I could be wrong. I mean, I do A-level bio. Might not account for much all these years later, right? I do a little geography as well too. But it seems to me as if something is not growing, that means it's dying. No, I mean, I open to a juxtaposition of perspective.
Again, I never said that you should stop learning or stop growing. What I'm saying is that there are things you also have to be comfortable not knowing.
Right, great. That have nothing to do with the point that some people stuck in a state of arrested development. And your response to being stuck in a state of arrested development was sometimes that's what is needed. Right? But it have a time for everything. So even in that space where we could close our eyes and go certain spaces and see certain people doing certain things. And if you set the calendar back 10 years,
You're still in that same space doing the exact same thing.
yeah, right? Maybe it works for them. Maybe that's, as I say, the snapshot. That's the wrong snapshot to use to measure, right? Maybe they found a thing that they like, and that's what they go to for something. To us now, we might not get that thing from that space, so using that snapshot to judge something else might be unfair to them, right? However, you had to ask yourself, what am I there for? And if you can't clearly identify what you're in a space for, you should revisit that. And I mean, it's perilously close. And as I say, I'm a philosopher. I had to ask these questions because if I know I going to blow off steam, but I am there, I am blowing off more steam than I am doing, that I'm spending in spaces that would generate steam, then I have a steam problem. Right? The other day I stop and say I want to play, I need a day to myself to just not do. I said I started to play video games. I played for like a day and a half. I was like, whew, wow, that was cool. And then I pick up and I went on. Right? If every day I sit down playing game and I'm not doing work, what am I taking a break from? If every day...
It's not a stream now.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, you know.
I won't watch it though.
Yeah, it's alright. I'm not very good. Hey, Manny. Yeah. So what I'm pointing out is what any of it for. And if you don't know what it's for,
Yeah, but then okay, let's say if you attend the weekly meetup, right? Or the whatever it is, and 5 minutes is allowed for the superficial, but the other 55 minutes is allowed for the serious.
but that's not the place for that.
What do you mean that is not the place for that?
That's not the place for that. Rum shop talk is rum shop talk. And then have
I
men.
never said meet up at the rum shop. You see how your mind going?
Listen to me.
Yes,
you,
your
you can
whole
dance
is-
all you want. We only have 2 minutes before you wrap up the program. So here the catch. If therapy more important than therapeutic moments, go into our rum shop and blowing off some steam with the fellas and talking about what the issue is over 2.5 or over a case, that might make you feel better that day or for the week. However, it's a therapeutic moment. It don't give you no tools. You go to therapy one day instead of going to that space that the weekly meetup, and let me be real, the weekly meetup is sometimes at 3 times and 4 times and 5 times to the week meetup. Sacrifice one of them days for something that actually adding some tool value, because I'm not saying I don't have value in the meetups, right? But if the thing that you're doing over and over and over not changing the thing, then you have to try something else. And the reason I use the rum shop is because men will sit down and blag in the rum shop, vent some steam, hear some counsel, but being in the rum shop might actually be part of the treadmill that have them in the problem. You dig? What I'm saying is, me and telling you stop lying with your friends, me and telling you stop doing what it is you're doing, you know. What I'm saying is, you could add something to your toolkit and see what difference that makes. So me and telling you stop lying and tell you stop drinking. I'm telling you, add something that adds some tools and see what happens. If you still spend that much time and that much energy in those spaces, well then you know what for. I can't believe I spent 22 minutes trying to convince you of the logic behind your point.
You're not convincing me, you know.
I know what you're doing, you know, Aaron.
Just like how
I know what you're doing.
in Parliament, when questions are asked, it has to be reminded that the questions are being posed for the benefit of the viewing and listening public. That is what is happening here in the living room. These questions are being juxtaposed for the benefit of you, the viewing and listening public, on the True Nation station, WACK 90.1 FM.
I know what you're doing, you know. I know what you're doing.
You sure?
But you're such a talented actor. I can't even tell that you know, you ain't like you're representing the let me not say devil's advocate.
I oppose well.
You oppose well.
With that being said, Mr. Desmond is up next with the big band. Keep it locked to the True Nation station, WACK 90.1 FM, where we are culture crazy. I will be back on Friday, inside the Friday Night Lime, and
I will be back on at high noon on WACK 90.1 FM.
by Wednesday.
Yeah.
Right? I always end by telling you that culture is my code. Really quickly, I forgot this. Royalty for a night. Royalty for a night is back on. If you can't donate, please do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Remember, guys, the hourglass is opaque. We don't know how much time remains. Whatever you're doing, be good and stay safe. All right.
Mr. Desmond is up next.
It make me want to jump kick him sometimes.
Who?
Not Mr. Desmond. You.
I'm not gonna say just so you wanna.
Me and Uncle.
Mr. Desmond, hear that, right?
Me and Uncle.
Was
Was
it-
real cool.
Yeah, it was you yourself.
We real cool.
If you could jump that high anyway.
Me and Uncle Desmond real cool. Anyway, we will pick this up. We'll pick this up where we left off. I ain't done with you yet. Keep it locked.
Not with me.
Keep it locked.
Yeah.